So single sign-on, again, it's all about just having to provide one credential set. The user doesn't have to remember all these passwords to be able to do their job and get access to the resources they need. And like I said before, the security issue is that if I only have to remember one credential set, then the attacker only needs to compromise one credential set and get access to everything, which is called keys to the kingdom. So, you know, we've got to weigh. Every organization has to weigh if they need a single sign-on, if it's the best for them or not. So a single sign-on, you know, it has much more efficient logon. If your users have to have 4, 6, 8 passwords, this is a more efficient way to go. Users can be, the user management can happen a lot easier since all of the accounts will be in one place. Then they can be, you can administrate them, you can maintenance them, and then if a user, you know, leaves the company or somebody gets fired, then it's only one place you have to get rid of that account and not all of these other accounts throughout the whole organization. You don't need multiple passwords, and the goal is that now, since the users only have to remember one, it'll be a large, complex password. So it provides central administration. So those are the good things. And again, we talked about the security issue. And one other thing is that to have a single sign-on environment is kind of a utopia. Most environments, you have maybe 80–85% of your resources that can plug in and be controlled by the single sign-on. But then you have legacy systems and legacy applications that can't communicate that way, and they have to be dealt with their management software. And the same thing is true for a lot of the identity management things that we talked about. There's legacy types of application or proprietary applications or legacy devices that don't always fit into the identity management protocols and software. So the first single sign-on technology we'll look at is directory services. And a directory service is something that works within a directory or within a database. So basically you have a database. They usually follow the X500 standard, and that's accessed through LDAP. And then you have the directory service. The directory service is managing all the objects listed in the directory. So it'll be managing the users and the resources and permissions and maybe certificates. So the directory service is managing all the user and resource information, and it's also network aware. It's a network aware service, which means that it knows and understands and communicates to the network devices and applications. So how is it single sign-on? Well, you only have to authenticate to the directory service. You know, Active Directory is one of the most common ones people know. Users authenticate to a domain controller. The actual directory service is called Active Directory. When you send over your credentials, it has a user database and with your credentials in it. Once you're authenticated, then it's going to allow you to access other resources. You don't have to log in to access the file server and the print server, everything. It all happens through the directory service. I said that a lot of products are combining, and because identity management, all these needs are taking place: provisioning, auditing, user management. So even the directory services are having more and more of these types of identity management services that we talked about earlier.